Hello guys, and welcome back again to my YouTube channel. Thank you for clicking on this video today. If you are seeing this face for the first time, my name is Bridget and it's a privilege, it's an honor to have you on my channel today. And to my returning subscribers, thank you for always watching my videos. Thank you for clicking on this video again today, guys. I'm actually so grateful to you. Like, I really don't know what to say though. So guys, in this video I'll just be giving you my honest truth, my 1 cent opinion, what I feel works for me in the UK, what I feel has helped me navigate life faster here in the UK, what I feel has just, you know, helped me progress in this past 1 year. Guys, I've lived in the UK nothing less than a year, and I think I can actually share some opinions. Not like I can give a lot of opinions, but I feel like I can share some opinions about living in the UK, about life generally in the UK. Okay, so guys, in this video, like I mentioned, I will be giving my opinions, not like I'm giving a fact, not like I'm giving something that I feel it should be applicable to everyone. This is just my opinion. This is just what I think works for me and has helped me progress or has helped me navigate life better. Guys, first thing first, the mistake I notice a lot of people make here is the fact that a lot of people judge or make a personal decision based on things they read on social media. A lot of people just say things on Twitter, a lot of people just say things on TikTok, and you know, you going through the comment section, these things are quite depressing, and then you just decide that, oh, because of this particular thing, I'm zeroing my mind towards what I really want to achieve here in the UK. I mean, some people just come over on Twitter or especially on TikTok to say certain things which are quite not contextual based on your circumstance. This thing only applies to their circumstance, and then you are now deciding, or you are now giving your own personal decision, or you're making your personal decision based on what you've read about what works for another person. I mean, a lot of people are on social media now talking about UK, especially on TikTok. A lot of people are saying different things about what works for them in the UK, not what works for everyone in the UK. And I feel like it's quite dicey, it's quite shallow for you to just decide that, okay, these people are saying this particular thing about what works for them, and I feel like I can just make my own personal decision based on this thing. Guys, you just really need to just take that out, because it doesn't work like that. I mean, it really does not work like that. Your life is different from another person's life. A lot of opinions are flying up and down on social media. A lot of people are giving their comments, but I think you need to ask, like, you need to ask people who are really into the system, who's got the same, you know, the same lifestyle like yours, who's got the same family structure as yours, and ask them really what happens, not just you deciding what up, like not you deciding or making a decision based on what you've read on social media. I feel like that is just it. That is one opinion or 1 cent opinion that I have towards living in this part of the world, because guys, a lot of opinions are flying. A lot of people are saying things which might not really apply to your own life, or which might not really apply to your own personality. That is it. And another thing I've noticed is that in this past 1 year that I've lived in the UK, that I've acclimatized myself to the system of things in the UK, is the fact that you cannot just say you want to come into the UK and you just jump into your career. Guys, that is the honest truth. You are not, so far you're not a nurse, or you're not someone in the tech sectors, you are not someone in, you're not someone in the tech sector. And even for the tech sector, it actually takes a while before you just jump into your career. Do you get what I'm saying? As for nurses, I think it's quite straightforward for them to just leave their home country and come to the UK, and you start working in your career, and you know, you start progressing in your career. It's quite straightforward. But for someone who is not a nurse, or someone who is not in the tech sector, you're just coming from Nigeria or from your home country, and you come to the UK and be like, oh, I want to start my job, I really want to progress in my career. Guys, it's actually not going to work out that way. The UK is a place you are coming for the first time. The UK is a place you've got no idea about. You guys just need to chill and give it time. Things work with time. You cannot just say you want to jump into your career, you want to start working in your career. I know a lot of people, quite some people, just get into their career, but they are quite few, guys. How many percentage? It's quite few. Like, it's not the normal thing, it's not the general rule, it's not the general practice. It takes time for people to just move into their career and to just progress normally in their career. These things, it's a principle. You are new in this country, you've got no idea about how things work in this country, you don't even know how your career is being practiced here in this country. So I find it funny when a lot of people just complain that, oh, I should not have come to the UK. I work as a manager where I'm coming from, I'm a manager in this sector where I'm coming from, and now I'm in the UK, I'm working as a carer, I'm working as a cleaner, I'm working as a kitchen porter, you know, all those jobs. And I feel like you are complaining. Guy, no one told you to come to the UK, no one forced you to come to the UK. You should understand that there are principles or there are bases to this thing. Just don't forget what you are trying to achieve. Don't forget what you're trying to aim at, because I noticed that a lot of people come to the UK and they be like, okay, I'm working as a carer, I'm earning £10 per hour, I'm okay, I can just feed myself. Because you can feed yourself, because you can take care of yourself, you can send money back home to your people in Nigeria or to your people in Africa. You feel like you are good enough and you don't need to progress with your career. No, it should not be that way. The UK is a place where it's quite easy for you to jump and, you know, to achieve whatever you cannot achieve in your career while you were at home. Because, for example, for people who are medical doctors who come into the UK probably via another route, who did not come to the UK, like you did not come to the UK through the work visa to work as a medical doctor, these things take time. You have to write your exams, you have to take your medical exams here, you have to, you know, you just have to progress. So when you're working as a carer, when you're working as a cleaner, just have the mindset that this is not what I'm trying to achieve. This is not my long-term goal. This is just something I need to do at the moment, and I'm working behind the scene on what I really want to do. It's not like you just come here and feel like I've hit the jackpot, now I'm trying to work as a medical doctor. Nah, it doesn't work that way. You don't just forget where you're coming from. You don't forget what you're trying to achieve. Don't just sit on the fact that, oh, I'm comfortable and that is it. Don't forget why you left your home country. That is the advice I tell people. Don't forget why you left your country. Just try and work, and alongside you achieve whatever you want to achieve. So that is it. And also, like I mentioned from the beginning of this video, this is my opinion, guys. I'm not telling anyone to work with it, but I will just say it. Enough is enough of people going to cheap universities, going to cheap schools in the UK, because you feel like this particular school has a cheaper tuition, you can just jump into the school. Guys, a lot of these cheap schools are not in big cities where there are a lot of opportunities. That is what I've noticed. A lot of these cheap schools that we say, oh, this particular school is cheap, this particular school is quite easy to get into, this particular school, it has very good installmental payment plan. Check it, guys. These schools are not in big cities, they are not in major cities, they are in towns. And you coming from Nigeria, you want to get a job fast, so you'll be able to pay the remaining of your tuition fee, so you'll be able to complete your school fees. These schools are oversaturated. They've got a lot of students, so the jobs there are not even enough for the people, like for the people who are there already, and you coming in, it's quite difficult for you to get a job. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. There are jobs in the United Kingdom, there are jobs in the UK, but there are some towns that once you get there, you just need to, like, you need to wait for like 3 months, you need to wait for like 2 months before you get a job. And I feel like you that you're coming in from Nigeria or you're coming in from any country in Africa, you just want to get your tuition fee paid. You just want to quickly get a job so your tuition fee is paid and you know your mind is at rest. But then you leave your home country and you come here and you start looking for a job for 2 months, guys. In 2 months, you could have gotten a substantial part of your school fees if you were in major cities. This is my opinion, guys. This is just my opinion, because over time I have realized, or I've noticed, that most of these cheap schools that are in towns and not in bigger cities are oversaturated, and a lot of people are jostling for jobs that are just meant for 10 people, that are just meant for 5 people. A lot of people are sent in applications to these particular schools because the town itself is oversaturated. There are no jobs there. Let's talk of cities like Birmingham. We've got cities like Manchester, we've got London, guys. These cities are big cities. They've got a lot of prospects there. They've got a lot of job opportunities there. So no matter the number of people living in that city, it's got jobs that could cater for them. Not for like people staying in towns or people staying in smaller cities, guys. That is what I have noticed. So it is just your decision to know if you want to go for cheap schools or you just want to go to a school where you would get job and you'll be able to complete your tuition in time. The decision is left to you. Okay, so another thing I've noticed in my past 1 year here is the fact that coming in with family is quite tricky if you've not got accommodation. I would always advise people who are married to always come in with their partner first. I would not advise someone who is married to come in first, except if you've got, like, if you've paid substantial part of your tuition, it's fine. But if you know you've not paid substantial part of your tuition, I will always advise you to come with your partner. You can still leave the children home. You can still leave them in the country where they are. It's fine. They are okay there. But you can come in with your partner because of the fact that you as a student, you can only work for 20 hours. But when your partner is with you, it's quite easy for you to navigate life faster because the dependent has higher rate of getting job compared to you. Most dependents get job even before their partners who are students, because most of these companies want someone who can work full-time. But if you are working part-time, they really don't, like, the acceptability rate is quite low. But when you've got your partner who can work full-time alongside you, I think it's quite easy. You get your tuition paid faster, you guys settle in faster, and you'll be able to bring in your family. But when you still come in here, you've not gotten your accommodation settled, you've not gotten life, like you've not even navigated this thing, and then you bring children who did not even send you to come to the UK at first, then it's quite difficult for you. It's the settling in is quite difficult, it's quite slower. That is what I think. So you guys can just navigate things better by your partner coming in first with you and then the children coming in later. Okay, so that is another thing I've learned about living, and I have noticed works well for a lot of people about living in the UK. Another thing, guys, childcare is not beans here in the UK. If you don't know, I'm currently on my maternity leave and I'm considering going back to work. The cost of putting your child in nursery, in daycare, employing a childminder is quite expensive. So you guys need to navigate this well, especially if you're coming in with an infant in the UK. Understand the fact that your wife might not get job faster because of the fact that she's got a child to cater for. That is one thing you guys really need to plan before coming into the UK. And that is one thing I have noticed, that childcare is not beans. Guys, it's not beans. It's like these children, once you have them, you have like an investment, so to say, because all your money, all your time, all your planning goes into them. They gulp it a lot. So I feel like if you're coming into the UK, you should try and settle and have a decision with your husband or with your partner on how your childcare is gonna be, because it is not beans. I mean, it is not beans. It's not easy. So you guys should just have to decide that. But I feel like those things are still quite minor when coming into the UK. There are things that you can just navigate. You might decide to let the child grow a little bit more before bringing that child into the UK, or you can just decide to bring the child into the UK. You and your husband could work things out. I mean, I've got some couple who the husband works daytime shifts, the wife works nighttime shifts, or the wife works nighttime and the husband does day, just vice versa, so they can have time with the child and everything gets settled. I really don't know if you get what I'm saying, but that is what I've noted. So guys, I think that is it with this video. If you guys got any question, if you have any comments, just keep them posted in the comments section and I'll definitely reply you. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, please, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next one. Bye for now.